Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 8 Premium Light Tank, the Hollenhund. Now the Hollenhund is one of the tanks that you can get in the Halloween Monster Hunter? Yeah, Monster Hunter Earn-Up. And this is one that I've saved a little bit later in the videos in terms of the streams of when I've been releasing them, because most people have earned this tank by now. It's been given away numerous times outside of the Halloween event. And yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of the more populous Tier 8 light tanks out there. So, like I say, most people already have it. As a light tank, it's pretty damn good. It's a very good light tank. It's a bulldog with that 90mm gun, which can be a bit troll at times. If I'm 100% honest with you, the gun sometimes, yeah, it's a little bit of a troll. But you've got really good view range in the fact that you've got 410 meters view range, which is absolutely fantastic. You go at 72.4 kilometers an hour, which is awesome. It used to be a lot slower in terms of, well, I say it's a lot slower. It used to be a lot more sluggish back in the day, but they did change it a wee while ago to get a better power to weight, so that really helps it get to that top speed. It's got 1.8 second aim time, which is absolutely fabulous for this gun. 6.4 second reload, which gives you incredible DPM. 0.38 accuracy, which, like I say, and I've talked about a fair bit in these videos, is that, you know, once you're getting beyond 0.35, I should say, it's starting to get into the derpy realms. And 0.38 is definitely getting towards the derpier end of the spectrum. It's still not bad, though, and you can get it down to a decent level with crew skills and a equipment setup. And then you've got 8 degrees of gun depression, which is also absolutely fantastic. And yeah, on the whole, this tank, like I say, is an absolutely fabulous tank to play. You can have a lot of fun with it. It's good crew trainer, and you can just dish out damage so quickly. I mean, you see 4.6 second reload without the food boost. That is utterly beautiful. The only thing for me, and I'm not the biggest fan of bulldogs in general in this game, or in World War II, because they're quite large light tanks, and I like to be a little bit more accurate. Aggressive, I should say, and play fairly active. And I take a lot of risks, and I take a lot of stupid risks as well. And it basically, in a bulldog, it doesn't quite pay off that often. Because the bulldog, if anybody gets the chance to snapshot you, they will hit you. Case in point. They will hit you. The bulldogs tend to get hit very easily all the time, and if people like crossing the open RBRT, this tank just tends to get hit all the time, and it's one of those that you don't quite get away with it, especially in the 6.0 world. In the pre 6.0 world, it wasn't so bad because accuracy was a lot worse, but in this post 6.0 world where the accuracy is a lot better on most tanks in World War II, it just means that, yeah, the bulldogs tend to cop a fair few more shots, so you have to play a little bit more carefully, which is not me at all. I take stupid risks and see if it pays off. And yeah, that's why I don't really like the bulldogs. But does that mean, just because I don't like it, does it mean it's a bad tank? Absolutely not. Like I say, it's an absolutely fabulous Tier 8 light tank, and it's well worth picking up if you don't own it. But like I say, a lot of people already do. A lot of people have already earned it in the numerous times it's been on earn-ups, and it is a great tank. So what do I run in terms of a commander on this Hollenhund? I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, the Snapshot, Steady Aim, and Run and Gun. I run the 3 gun perks to make sure that this gun is as good as possible, because like I say, it does like to be fairly derpy, so I want to help it as much as I humanly can do. And then I run the 2 camo perks in Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot, so that I can have the best camo I can possibly have, and when I get into those sort of aggressive positions to use my camo and firing through bushes and stuff, it makes it so it's a lot less likely that I get seen. Because with the setup that I have 321 meters of steel concealment, which isn't the best for a light tank, so I want to make sure that I'm trying to help it as much as it can be, and, you know, because imagine how much worse it is if without all the help you can give it. And then in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, optics, and vertical stabilizers. Optics, because naturally, you're a light tank, you want to be able to spot, you want to be able to get lots of assistance, so I run the optics to boost my view range up to a very high level, which is 525 meters. And then I run the gun stabilizer because, well, this gun, like I say, is pretty atrocious if you don't. So, and will miss a fair few shots. So I want to help that out with the vertical stabilizer as much as possible. And the advanced loader, like I say, sorry, because best DPM is always good. You could change quite a lot about that if you wanted to. I mean, realistically, you could drop the gun stabilizer if you wanted to, and run the camo net to have even better camo, so you fulfill the light tank roles a little bit easier. It's down to you and how you want to run the tank. It's completely down to personal preference. So in this first game, we are on a map that is not the best, realistically, for a Bulldog and for a Hollenhund, but we've had a pretty decent game. We're up to 3.5k damage with 318 assistance and 3 kills. There's only 1 tank left on the enemy team on Pilsen, and it is the Object 257. So we're going to go after this 257, try and use the heat to go through, because we're not really going to pen it too much with the AP. We go for the shot into the back end, but 250 heat pen ricochets, because lol, and he ends up getting shut down by the AMBT. And we finish the game with a pretty damn nice total on a map that doesn't suit the Hollenhund whatsoever. Finished with the victory, come top on the team, 3.9k damage, 1815 base XP. I say a damn nice game for what is not a great map for such as light tank as the Hollenhund. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you end up running around like I did there, that's where you can get the best out of the Bulldog, or out of the Hollenhund, sorry. Because, sure, you don't have the armour, and you have a lot of mobility, but, and, well, realistically, view range doesn't count for too much on Pilsen either, but you do have fantastic DPM. So you want to keep yourself as a second-line support, keep yourself supporting where you can, and just keep pushing shots down range constantly, because that way you can rack up damage really quickly, and you can have a really great time with it. So we're on the second map, and this time we are on Arctic region, and I'm taking the aggressive spotting location that I used to take all the time. I don't take it all too often these days, and that's because that's one of those reasons, again, actually, is to be fair, because you used to be able to take this position, use this spot here to spot all the people that cross, like this CS53 here, and then you could keep poking up, getting shots at them, and a lot of the time, most of them would miss their shots. Because, well, they'd all be crossing at 40 kilometers an hour or whatever, an RBRT, and a lot of the time, because of the accuracy generally in the game, their shells would go absolutely everywhere. But these days, what tends to happen is you get spotted, you fire at them, and they just instantly RBRT and just smash you straight away, which is always a bit irritating. So I tended to change up what I did. But this position is still very, very good, and you can, especially if you're in stealthier light tanks too, you can spot the cross, you can get a fair bit of assistance if people sit behind you, and it is a pretty decent position to take. You do also have to be careful of the people that camp at D8, C8 on that little hill, because they can get shots at you from there too, which can be a little bit irritating. Now with the Hollenhund, obviously you do have 182 penetration on your AP with 250 heat pen, which is delightful. 182 pen on the standard AP is pretty decent, but it will struggle in tier 10 lobbies quite a lot. But you do have 250 heat pen, which, like I say, the 250 heat pen is really good. It means you can deal with most things you're going to face as a light tank, which is quite nice. And you do have fantastic HEP rounds, which are 102 penetration, so you never want to discount the HEP rounds that this tank has for 320 damage, because it is really, really nice to have. It's a really big asset for when you're facing light tanks and other lightly armoured tanks, and you can really trash things very, very quickly, like artillery as well. It's always really, really nice. So now I've stopped responding in Twitch chat to streams, we can actually get on with the game. And we're up to 2.1k damage so far with 482 assistance. And we're basically going to charge up, try and get rid of the CS53, and then get after the light tank. So unfortunately we take a hit there from the CS53, but we shut him down. And we're going to try and take a position where we can get some shots into this Batchat 12T. So we get one into him on the move. We load the HEP, which I load it because my thought is actually for artillery there. I loaded the HEP because I thought, well, I can pen the Batchat 12T with it, but once I've got it loaded, I can pen the artillery as well. So we find the M4043, well, the Brask finds it, and the Brask Amaraks it. So we don't have HE loaded for that guy, but we're going to try and see if we can find the other artillery, because, well, he's going to be here somewhere, and there he is. He's spotted on our left-hand side. We've just realised it's an equaliser, which is absolutely juicy, because that means we can pen that really easily with the HE. And we get around the side so that we can use it. And you can see it just dishes out quite a bit of nice damage to the HE. And unfortunately, we can't quite get the shot in to shut down that equaliser. We're up to 3,043 damage with 664 assistance. And we get detected as we're crossing here. I'm thinking, okay, there's something on that ridgeline over there. Which is why we took a little bit of a ducking and diving manoeuvre. And we do actually spot it, which is a Pershing. So we're just going to move towards him, get away from his gun, and I decide, you know what, I need to get back to try and help the base. If they decide to cap now, they can get 3 people on the base fairly easily, and we're doomed if they do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to sprint back to base and see if we should outspot whatever is in that cap very, very easily and at least get the reset in. So we're going to use this little ridge line for safety, and there we go. We spot that APM X30. We pull back, so we're as far away from the APM X30 as possible, so it makes it harder for him to spot us. We end up setting him on fire as well, which is beautiful. Wait for him to drive out in front of our gun, and we managed to get the shot in to finish him off. Now there's the CMV CC67, we get a shot into his back end, try and go for the drive wheel to keep him in place, which tracks him in place. He's now stuck there. We've got good DPM, which means we should be able to finish him off, and we do. We're up to 4.6k damage with 664 assistance. There's 2 tanks left. The medium tank that's up in their base, which is a Pershing, and then it's like, oh goodness me, there's still a medium tank behind us? Where did he come from? Okay, well, we get a nice shot into the 5100 there, and we pop back out to get another shot into him. He manages to catch us straight away with a shot, which is what I'm talking about with the Bulldogs, where they do like to catch shots really easily. You have to be very, very careful, especially when you're poking ridge lines like that even. They tend to go, oh, a Bulldog, bang, and hit you instantly, and it can be a little bit frustrating. But we're up to 5.3k damage with 4 kills, and I'm thinking, do I want to try and get the shot into this guy? We try and get a shot into him, because he missed that shell, and we're just waiting for him to drive out from around the corner. He drives out, we get a shot through his turret. Thankfully he misses us, and at this point I'm just going to keep him distracted while this medium tank comes behind him and finishes him off, because it's like, look at me son, nope, the 40 TP gets you. And we finish the game with a really nice total for the Hollenhund. We finish with the victory, come top on the team, 4 kills, 5.6k damage, 664 assistance, the ace tanker, the high caliber, 2,141 base XP, a really nice game for the tier 8 German light tank that you can earn in the Monster Hunter earn up. It's a really, really damn solid light tank, but the thing is, most people have already earned it. It's been one of those tanks that's been out for years and years and years, and it's been in many, many earn ups. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!